Hello everyone, this is a video we put together to share how we assemble the Max Step dock stair. We will be building a 7-step stair, but the video will be informative and will assist in the assembly of any of the Max dock stair systems. The 2 to 6 step uses a single set of side stringers, and the 7 to 12 step uses a dual set of side stringers, which is essentially 2 stair systems seamed together. To start out, we like to lay everything out so that it is easy to identify the stair parts. Each stair comes with an image of the parts that it requires for assembly. I would recommend laying all the parts out the way that they are shown in the image you receive. This allows you to ensure you have all the necessary parts for assembly. We will identify the next stair parts being used in the assembly with green dots hovering above the required parts. So right now we will start out with both or all 4 side stringers, 2 bullnose, and 8 bullnose screws. We first lay out the side stringers like this, with the bullnose across the top and the bottom, and 2 screws at the end of each bullnose. This is what we are looking to create. If you have 2 to 6 step, there will only be a single stringer on each side. The rounded edge of the bullnose will face up, and we line up the 2 holes at the bottom of the stringer with the threaded holes in the end of the bullnose. You will need a number 3 Phillips head screwdriver or drill for these screws, and you will only tighten them about 3/4 of their length. Do not completely tighten at this time. So once the bullnose is in place, you will have something that looked like what we saw before. We will now seam the side stringers if you have a 7 to 12 step. You can skip this step if you have a 2 to 6 step. Wow, that's a lot of steps. Seaming the side stringers requires overlapping the ends of the stringer and using 2 collars and 4 screws per collar. The stringers will need to be orientated like this. You will have 4 holes that line up in the stringers that also line up in the holes in the back of the collar. The screws go from the inside of the stringer out and thread into the flat side of the collar. Once again, only tighten about 3/4 of their length. Do not completely tighten unless you want this to be more difficult. We also want to make sure that we overlap the same on each side of the stair. This is very important to ensure that the spacing is correct for the bullnose. Once this is done, your stair should look something like this. We will now add the rest of the bullnose to the stair, so grab all the bullnose and all the bullnose screws you have remaining. Lay out 1 full side of bullnose for your stair the same way you did the first bullnose. Each bullnose will line up with 2 holes on the bottom of the stringer. The bullnose screws are 1/4 20 by 1 inch stainless steel Phillips panhead screws. Tighten these screws the same as all the others. Do not completely tighten. Take your time to line up the screws with the bullnose to ensure that they thread into the bullnose end easily. We will now install the step treads. We used Titan composite decking for the step treads. The video shows another style of decking that we used prior to Titan, but installs the same. When installing the decking, just make sure the decking is all facing the same direction, so the pattern is consistent. Once the decking is in, we will add the rest of the bullnose and lock the step tread into place. As you can probably already tell, the bullnose will go the opposite of the first layer, but in the same fashion. 2 holes in each end of the bullnose with 2 Phillips panhead screws. Add this layer of bullnose and tighten the screws the same way we have instructed you on all the others. Do not tighten them completely. It's time to tighten, but only the bullnose, not the collars. Firmly tighten all 1/4 20 by 1 inch bullnose screws. Make sure you get all the screws tight, and make sure there are no loose step treads. Time to add the remaining collars. You should have 4 collars at this point. Place 1 collar at each corner of the stair, along with 4 screws per collar. Each collar lines up with holes at the top and the bottom of the stair. The screws thread into the collar from the inside out and are only tightened 3/4 of their length. Do not completely tighten. Each collar has a set screw that is used to tighten the handrail upright. With the bottom collars, you will want the set screws on the back side of the collar. With the top collars, you will want it facing down the stair so that you can see it at this angle. Time to add handrail uprights. The 2 to 6 step require 2 uprights with the single handrail and 4 with the dual handrail. The 7 to 12 step use 6 uprights with 2 uprights that have large holes in both sides. We will now use all the uprights that are included with your stair. Start out with uprights with large holes in one side. Slide into the collar and tighten the set screw into the bottom hole on the upright. In the middle, you will use uprights with large holes in both sides, and face the side with the highest hole toward the top of the stair, and tighten the set screw into the only hole in the bottom of the upright. With the top uprights, face the large holes toward the bottom of the steps, and tighten the set screw into the top hole in the upright. You may notice that we have the set screws for the collars on the wrong side. These should be facing the other direction, but you will still use the top hole of the bottom 2 holes to tighten the set screw. You should now have all your handrail uprights in the stair, and it should look something similar to this. If you have a 2 to 6 step and only have a single handrail, you will receive a short post with a cap and a hole that is used to fill the opening in the collar. Time for the handrails. Gather all the bent handrails for your stair and 2 screws per handrail. Insert the handrail ends into the large holes on the uprights. Opposite the large holes are small holes for the screws. Insert the handrails and hand tighten the screws just to get them started. The handrails tend to be a challenge for first-time builders. As long as the collars are loose, it should be easy to install the handrails into the holes on the uprights. If the collars are tight, this will be a very difficult process. Once the handrails are in and the screws are started, you want to tighten the handrail screw about halfway. Do this all the way around the stair. Now completely tighten the handrail screws all the way around the stair. If you have a 7-step, it should look like this. The collar screws use a number 3 Phillips bit. At the time we made this video, we were using Allen head screws. We now use Phillips head screws. Completely tighten all collar screws in each collar. And the hard parts are done. Your stair should look something like this. Time to install the front legs. The front legs are 18-inch posts with pads on them. These legs insert into the lower end of the handrail uprights. Just enough to get the leg posts up into the upright. Now insert the leg into the upright and tighten the set screw at the desired length. The front legs are easy to adjust and allow you to level the stairs on different inclines and varying water depths. Mid and back legs. Whether you have mid or back legs, the only difference would be the length of the legs. You will need the 2 legs and 2 base pads. Put the base pad on the bottom of the post and tighten the set screw. Loosen the set screw on the collar in the middle or back uprights, the same way you did for the front legs, and insert the leg into the lower end of the uprights. Adjust legs to a desired length and tighten the set screw. The set screw allows for easy adjustment even when installed. And we are almost done. We need to add an X-brace to the mid or back legs. The X-brace uses 2 extrusions and 4 sets of clamps. We found it easiest to put the brackets on like this and just finger tighten them. Once all 4 are on, take both extrusions and lay the flat sides against each other, aligning the holes, and use a nut and bolt to fasten them together. Take each end of the extrusions, making an X, and put the hole in the end of the extrusion between the clamps with the bolt going through all of them. And firmly tighten. Your X brace is now complete, and the entire stair system is now complete.